Hey! Hello, StreamYards. Are we live? Come on. Are we live? Yes. Hello, viewer. Today it is a Sunday, January the 28th, 2024. January nearly over already, Christ. I am Mr. Brune, and I trust you are all doing very, very well today. On this evening's live stream podcast, call it what you will, we are discussing the goings on last week in the entertainment and on the social media. It was a week where things happened in Hollywood, always does, and even more bad stuff happened in real life. It always does. Never mind. So, if you've not shut down for the evening, as I always say, there is lots to get through. Shall we get those guests out? You know it. Let's do it. Okay, so first up, all the way from Mongo City, all hail Emperor Goodwin.
Sir Brown, I presume
my
you've been
friend.
knighted since you were on the Drinkers stream.
Was I on Drinkers? That was a dream.
Well, I mean, they had a homeless delivery guy that was on it, and we all thought it was you. Yes.
Yes. I was an observer, occasionally chipping in with utter bollocks.
Well, I thought
As
you
you
were
do.
co-host for a while. You kept trying to move on.
Moving on. You well, my friend.
I am good.
It's very difficult not going into presenter mode.
Old habits.
How are you, my friend? All good, yes?
Yes. We should bring on more people.
You learn quick. It's great to have you on, my friend, because there is a lot to get through.
Indeed.
Let's get the next peep out. Okay. We see the good inside our next guest. He's been slagging around, folks. He is the Dark Sith Lord. Little Platoon. Hello, Lord.
Good evening.
Hello there.
Hello, how are you?
Not too bad. How are you, my friend?
All good, thank you. Not too bad.
Have you been mixing into the ether of YouTube, as it were?
Yeah, some damn fool decided that not to check the calendar when saying yes to streams, so I'm on 3 today. Just came off George the Giant Slayers, which was great fun. I'm on this one now, and then I'm on the Gothic Therapy stream at midnight-ish. So in and out. Half midnight, I think I said. Yeah.
Wow.
So busy day.
Right.
So much for my weekend.
If you've got to be away, it's great to have you on, mate. Shall we get the next peep out?
Do it.
Okay, let's do it. Okay, from a VPN far, far away, it's a golden reach around droid of choice. It is Z3PO.
Good evening. Hello there. How is everybody?
Hello, how are you?
I'm, recovering from a cold, so if I do appear a bit bunged up, do bear with me.
Shall we move on? It's great to have you on, my friend.
Thank
Lots
you.
to get through. Yes,
Yes.
great to
Bring them
speedy
on.
recovery, my friend.
Do
Okay.
it.
Do it. All the way from the land of Texas Shire. She is the queen of this channel. It is Rennie L.
Hello. I think that's the fastest I've ever heard you talk in, ever. It's hilarious.
It's great to have you on, Rennie. Shall we get the next guest out?
How are you guys today, by the way, before we move on to the next guest? Everybody okay? Everybody okay? Everybody all right?
Just say yes. And
Yep.
last, great to have you on. And last, but by no means least, Ian David Diaz. See what I did there?
Hello. Yeah, I got to get another crisp out. Yeah, definitely.
You well, Ian?
Yeah, I'm well. I'm very well. Let's get on with it, shall we?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, what's first? What are you doing?
It's great because your 3 times speed is most other streams' normal speed, so
It
this
is,
is
yes.
it's going quite nicely.
He shows up on Drinker and suddenly becomes professional. I don't know what's going on
I
here.
know.
Hashtag
Semi-professional.
facts.
Shut up, you. Good evening, chats. We can see you. Good evening.
Oh my goodness.
Salutations. Okay, let's do some shit then. Okay, episode 186, Musings, Sunday, January 28th. Blah, blah, blah. Please like, share, subscribe, donate. Okay, so first up, big TV drop this week, folks.
Masters of the Air. It sounds like a plucky group of recruits who overcome their differences and unite against an enemy that threatens to destroy their very way of existence. I haven't watched it yet, but tell me more.
Well, we know it's not about the Mile High Club. Moving on.
Okay, it's about the 100th USA Air Force in World War II. I think it's 1943 when they're transferred over to Blighty in the war efforts. Who saw this then?
Rennie.
Rennie, thoughts?
I hate to
This will be
steal
good, folks. This will be
anybody's
good.
line on this show, but
This will be
it's
good.
shit. Oh my god, it was like a snooze fest. So like Brown sent us like the link for both episodes, and I couldn't get them to work. But Apple TV has this thing where you can watch the first episode free.
Oh, nice.
I just couldn't keep up with it. It was so boring. I couldn't remember what the storyline was half the time. I mean, the effects were decent. The acting seemed pretty decent. It's just the story was so blah. And how many like war flicks or war shows can you watch without like, I don't know, wanting to crash and fall asleep? I don't know. It's just, I don't know. It didn't do anything to hold my interest. And
war is good.
Is it? I mean, there are good points about war, but at the same time, how much do we need it drilled into our brain, right? So I don't know. So
you weren't patriotic at your own boys saving the world in 1943 when they got involved.
That is great and all, but it's just the story, the way they pitched it, wasn't great. The guy with the tiny eyes was driving me nuts. Like, I don't remember his name, but he's on another show too, and I'm just like, open your eyes. Oh wait, he just got tiny eyes. But yeah, I don't know. It just didn't do anything for me.
I only watched half of it because I thought it was very dull. But the thing that always gets me right with some of these films, okay, especially made today, how they always augment what they've shot with CGI. Every shot that you see in this film is either got a sunrise or a sun setting. Every time they're outside, it looks golden. It looks unreal. Unlike Band of Brothers when they made that, obviously they didn't have that technology, and it looked more kind of more real than this. Everything seemed very CGI. Obviously, the planes are CGI, obviously, but apart from
you can
that,
tell they weren't flying.
Somehow.
Apart from that, right? The reason why I didn't like and stopped watching halfway the first episode because it was very dull. Even the fight in the beginning where the guy got shot, that came too close to the beginning. How are you supposed to care about anyone? You get shot in the plane, one guy vomits in the plane, whatever. Do you know what I mean? It just wasn't exciting.
That was an issue, yes.
It wasn't exciting, and he pushed things too fast in the beginning. And they're all good-looking fellas, I guess. You know what I mean? And it didn't seem real. As I said, Band of Brothers, even though it had big stars in it, it seemed more real than this. Everything seemed so plastic and so very much contrived. But I mean, the real reason why I stopped watching the first episode because it was dull. It's that old man again. It's the old homeless guy.
The vagrant's back, everybody.
Oh my god!
Hey, that was the guy offering hand jobs for super chats on
That was
Drinker's
it.
channel,
Yeah,
right?
he was the old geezer. Yeah, on that channel. I remember.
Does anybody have a pen so we could go ahead and just give him? Do you have a cup?
I need to get an LED light. I agree with you, Ian, because I think Lance on Outcast Creatives was saying he would have liked the first episode to be get to know the characters, have them in boot camp. Like,
were you guys invested in any of these guys? Like, because we really didn't know them.
I think they just went straight in, all guns blazing for the attention deficit audiences, and I just want to sit back and enjoy this for what it is, not be straight away. Come on, let's have some build up. Never mind. Anybody else seen it?
I've been waiting as I do with a lot of these. I wait until they're out entirely, but I already had some reservations just from the trailers they had where it was like, I'm not sure that that's the correct plane in that shot. I don't know why the red tails are flying out of England. That's not where they were based. There were just some worrisome signs, and I think that, yeah, if you're, so there's one thing to be said, and to be fair, Band of Brothers was really the only one that started with them in boot camp. The Pacific, which that was much more of a very good and then some pretty rough episodes, right?
Still not seen that one yet.
It's an up and down one, but
Right.
they kind of it's not too long before you're throwing right in and getting a taste of what the warfare was like in the Pacific.
Yeah.
So I think it's fine to start off with action to set the stakes, where these people are, they're thrown in, there's shoot ups, you lose somebody right off the bat, and that kind of sets the action that's going to happen as far as developing the social dynamics, that you don't get too close to people, because they'll end up, getting killed. An example is and everybody talks about the losses of the Marines in the Pacific Theater. The most dangerous job in the Allies, at least in the beginning of the American involvement in World War II, was the 8th Air Force Bomber Group, where they had 75% casualties. It was only 25% that were able to complete their 25 missions. And so every time you go up, there's a very high probability you're coming back. Either you've lost crew member or you've lost entire, planes, multiple planes of people that you knew. And so there's a certain distance that you have to operate under, and operating with a there is no tomorrow kind of dynamic. That's an interesting setting for character development. I just don't know how well they're going to execute it with this.
Again, I would say that
Not well so far.
The thing that really, that's all right. The thing that really does pee me off with modern films today, right, is the excessive use of CGI. Now, I'll give an example. Right? I saw a film called The Holdovers over the last week, right? And the director directed that. It was set in the 70s. He literally didn't want any CGI in it, right? He literally, him and his team literally went out to places to find places that looked like the 70s. There was not one set in that film. They literally found places like old homes that looked like it was set in the 70s. And you really do feel it when you're watching it. You feel that you actually there at this, that you feel like it was actually shot in the 70s. There was the feel about it. There was the people that they cast. But with this, right, as I said, not everywhere you go is going to be a sunset like that. Do you know what
That's
I mean?
true.
Do you know what I mean? And it just takes you out of it. And I think more so today, for me, when I see something that's CGI, blatantly CGI, it just takes me out of the whole thing.
It does kind of for me as well. It's like whenever it's just overly or super obvious that that's what it is, and it's overused, like what you were saying, it just gets to that point where it's like, and I think that might have been what kind of bored me as well, but yeah, it's like change it up, because that's what it felt like the whole time. Same time of day, all day, every day. Can't be that way.
Yeah, it can't. It can't be like that every day. Yeah, you're right.
Z, question: semen or airmen?
Oh, semen every time.
Oh, sorry. I'm being a boomer here. Super chat. Wayland Pacificus for $2. Is it Mac V SOG units in Vietnam had 100% casualty rates? Jesus.
Never been beaten.
And Wayland again for $5. My wife told me not to pick up the phone during heck. I said, but what if it's you calling? But moving on. Lord, is this up your streets?
It sounds like it isn't, no.
That's the shortest, sweetest answer I think I've ever heard from you.
I will say I had a couple of problems. Yeah, the kind of I wanted the episode one episode at the beginning before everything started kicking off, just to settle yourself in, get used to it, see what everything's about, and then go on some missions. But they're literally just straight in there. A lot of this was shot on the volume. You know, the stuff what they use for and
Mandalorian.
Yeah, some of it does look. Well, it's just overly reliant.
It's too much.
It is, and I'm
But
struggling
weren't
not
you
to
the
be
one
taken out.
arguing pre-stream that this show was actually pretty good?
It is pretty good,
Yeah.
but there are flaws. You can tell this is a product of 2022, 23.
Yeah, when it was being made.
Yeah, they even built 3 flying fortress full-size replicas, and I think their initial idea was to have the planes hanging from these huge cranes, and then add the effects later. But the volume was pretty much out or new at the time, so they relied on the volume, and I'd like to see a few more practical effects to kind of outweigh the CGI. But anyway, here you go. Says Y3. 2 were, I think, built for kind of outside, kind of practical flying shots, and 1 was built for the interiors. But what they did was they put the interior, they kind of cannibalized it and put it onto the volume. But anyway.
Yeah, I mean they're going to have to have at least some on the ground, presumably, because you'll have mechanics working on them and things like that. So you need some sort of prop to work on.
It's a shame they couldn't actually get some real flying fortresses or hire some. I would imagine it'd been very expensive. $250 million, folks, to make this.
Well, there's not many left.
That's not worth it.
Yeah, it's not worth it.
It doesn't look like it took that much to make that. I mean, I'm sorry, not in my opinion.
Reniel in the chats. This is the most boring show. You aren't watching chats.
Sorry, not sorry.
Nailed it. I
Kick
think
your
I'll
ass
pass.
later. All right, let's move on. Okay, so we'll just do a couple of side swipes, as it were. Here you go. Masters of the Air Masters of the Air stars Austin Butler. Was that Barry Keoghan?
Barry Gibb.
Yeah. Shooty, what was it? Shooty Gatwa?
Doctor Who is in it.
Yeah,
Yes,
I know.
Is he
We've not seen him
massively
yet.
gay in this as well?
Probably.
Yeah, we haven't seen that yet, but yeah.
He's got his flight suit unbuttoned all the way down to his waist, and there's a lot of dancing in the officers club. Yeah, yeah.
So that's a good reason not to watch it there. That's a definitely good reason not to watch it. And also, right, you remember the scenes where, like, they're being told what to do, and they have this huge map, and everybody's sitting in the room. Why is it dark? What? Why is it all dark? Do you know what I mean? It's like, what? Then can't I afford enough lights or something? Do you know what I mean? It's just ridiculous the way it's lit and everything. I know it's trying to be glossy and everything, but it takes me out of it because I know. Well, I don't know, but I'm assuming it wasn't that dark.
Well, Ian, I'm not sure you're aware, but there's a war on.
I know that.
We can't afford lights.
It's daytime.
Yes.
It's daytime. It's daytime, though.
Look, we had to ration the sun. This was the thing that we had to do. I don't know.
It's daytime. You can see outside. Yet inside, it's all dark. It's ridiculous.
Basically the grab here is obviously the review and saying that Apple is a top tier TV producer. HBO were approached to do this, but they just said it was too expensive, so Apple said we'd do it.
Well, HBO had a bad experience with the Pacific. And this
is that what it was?
Yeah, this is the same production group with Tom Hanks and Spielberg and all that, right?
Yeah.
So the budget, both for Band of Brothers and the Pacific, they very much overshot their budgets. While they more than made up their money with Band of Brothers, the Pacific not so much. That was a money loser for them.
Okay, we'll sidestep, folks, and yeah, this just confirms 250 to 300 million budget.
Sickening. Where was the money spent?
In the CG department.
Yeah,
But it wasn't spent very well then. They must have overpaid.
I don't know if you've been keeping up on current events, but it doesn't seem like anybody's been spending their CG budget worth a damn except for Godzilla -1.
Oh, Mr.
Yeah.
H Reviews is in the chat. Welcome.
The credits are about 6 to 7 minutes long, just with
The
mainly,
CG workers.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
So it had the same budget as She-Hulk.
Speaking of shit,
That's
CG.
terrific.
Okay, should we move on then, folks?
Yes,
Why is
please.
everything so dark?
I kind of get the feeling it's going to be a Marmite program. I like it, but there are conditions, as it were. But anyway,
Even
Well,
in
the clue
plane,
is
it's
Mr.
dark.
Brown likes it, folks.
that's all that matters.
Moving on.
A couple of Ray tidbits this week. When offered the role of Ray, J.J. Abrams told Daisy Ridley to understand the scale. This is not a role in a movie. This is a religion for people.
Not anymore.
Changes things on a level.
Oh,
That is whatever.
If it's a religion
Not
for people
more.
and JJ made the Rise of Skywalker, does that make him Satan? Or is that Ryan Johnson?
It's
Well,
Roundhead Johnson.
Damien makes him
oh
Damien.
my God.
I mean, to be fair, JJ's the one that sets up everything that then Ruin has to deal with. Like, why in the hell is Luke Skywalker not showing up when his friends are in trouble? And a whole bunch of other terrible, because
So
mystery
is-
box, all the things, and then Ruin decided to open up the mystery boxes a bit and found out that they were just filled with dog shit.
So would KK be Satan and then Ruin and JJ be her little minions, or would Ruin be Satan and JJ be his minion? Or is JJ Satan and the other two are his minions?
No, JJ isn't competent enough to be Satan. I take it back. It must be. I'm guessing, yeah, maybe KK is Satan in this dynamic, and then
Yeah.
Ryan
Gender
can be
swapped,
I don't know,
obviously.
like Moloch or something, and then JJ can be Canaan. I don't know.
I like
in the
it.
chat, JJ's Gollum, Ruin is Satan.
Do you know that picture? Right? Did she press the had the lightsaber upside down? She lightsabered her foot or something.
Oh yeah.
or
Well,
pressed the switch and then
wouldn't have injured her. Don't worry.
Yeah.
that looks weird, doesn't it?
It says
Or was
on
that a
there
joke? Did somebody swap that?
her
Is this one of
anxiety-
Swapper's pictures?
Oh, don't. talk about that.
Sore subject.
See?
Sore subject.
Z, you were going to say?
Yeah, her anxiety was so severe by the time that The Last Jedi released. I'm reading that as an admission that she thought Rian Johnson's script was shit.
Well-
she had stomach ulcers or holes in her stomach.
Oh, I think
because-
that's down to the cocaine abuse.
Yeah. That was the only place she had holes, yeah.
cocaine rots your body, folks. It's official.
A real shame. Could have been so good, but they took over, and that's that.
This also feels like a little bit like preemptive fan baiting. It's like,
Mhm.
please
That's
be easy
exactly
on
what it
me.
sounds like.
Well, it's post hoc apologia, right? This explains that we really took it seriously, and by the way, that Daisy was so nervous, but she truly understands the impact of this character. She doesn't, but she's at least claiming that she does, and so we're just trying to lay the groundwork for no, you can trust us this time, I promise.
Yep, that's what they're doing.
And she's being the perfect ambassador for the Disney Lucasfilm brand.
Well, because
Oh,
she's got
dear.
no other outlets to go to, right? She hasn't really been successful outside of this franchise, which is sad. So she has to depend on it to get her like some more like fairly
More money.
decent amount of income.
So- What you're saying is they're using Daisy on the charm offensive this time, yeah?
Why not? I
Probably.
would
So
for
people are like,
12.5
so they can be
million.
like, oh, well, they won't bully her. She's such a nice lady.
Yeah, I mean
You
they've been
know.
using human shields for the last 5 years. Whenever anything goes wrong, it's like, oh, it's Obi-Wan isn't bad. You just hate black woman. Oh, okay. No, it's because we hate the show.
Yeah, it has
well-
nothing
and they
to
just
do
keep
with
doing it.
Make no
skin
mistake,
color.
if they do make this, it's going to be bad. It's gonna be
Oh, I have no worries about that. That goes
in
without
the
saying.
chat. Looks better in a maid outfit.
Brown, do you really want to go over all those AI Daisy pictures?
No.
All right, let's move on.
I still don't think this is getting made. I just don't see it.
Yeah, same here.
Can she act, Lord?
No.
Well, yes, within very strictly defined parameters. So I think she's better than we saw from her in The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, and The Rise of Skywalker, because the script was terrible and the character didn't exist, and there's only so much you can do with that. Whereas in bits and pieces I've seen of her other roles, she can do a few more expressions. She can close her mouth, which is something I don't think we knew she could do.
She's good at flaring her nostrils, apparently.
Well, the ability to close your mouth is not hiring criteria for major screen roles, but the ability to open it absolutely is. So I think she is more capable, but she has a low ceiling. So I don't think she's great, but she could have been better had the script been better.
Yes, if they would cast her as a dead body, then I think she would be much more successful.
Oh yeah.
Can she hold her breath for that long?
Well, she was. She played a dead body in a previous movie.
She did, or a TV show. She was in
TV
Waking
show,
the
yeah.
Dead or something. Yeah.
Moving on. Shall we move on?
Are we really moving on this time? Or
Yeah,
is it another
moving on,
sidestep?
We'll see.
Mm.
Oh, thank God we've moved on.
This Daisy Ridley on her return to is it War of Stars, Lord?
It has become War of
It
Star.
is, isn't it?
Absolutely,
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah. The story is cool as shit. No spoilers, but Charmin Obeyed Chinoy gave me a rundown of the entire story. If it weren't amazing, I would have been like, okay, call me in 5 years. But it's worthwhile.
You liar.
So you think a waiting period of 5 years is going to make things better?
Liar.
That's an interesting thing to say.
Liar.
Yeah, she a dumb bitch.
Amazing.
I mean, remember, she was very excited
Amazing.
about, TLJ and
This
Force
is her
Awakens,
cash cow. She needs
and
it.
I don't think she's especially qualified to evaluate story.
Absolutely.
And also, story is an incredibly vague term, because in the same interview she said that she had not seen the script, which is for the same and sensible reason I assume that the script has not been written.
Yeah.
But story can mean anything. So Charmin Obey I could have said, yeah, you're going to be Rey again, and you get to train all these new Jedi. Isn't that good? And then Rey would say, yeah, that's great, that's cool. But that's not actually telling you anything about the story that matters. That's just she was given a premise for the story that she thought sounded cool.
Right.
So I'll believe it when I see it. I believe she's enthusiastic, because if I were given $12 million to reprise a role, having got no other work, I'd also be excited. But none of this actually says anything about the film itself.
Will she get the money irrespective of it going through or not, or being made?
Nope.
No,
I don't know what the contract is. I mean, you have to see it to see if it's a guaranteed and has to be delivered regardless or not. But who knows?
Nah, she won't.
It's not going to.
Why does she look like a boy there? What's going on?
Yeah, she's got a boy cut.
Because she's all the Jedi.
She's all the boys.
Boy
and girls. Are we allowed to just say that anymore? Boys and girls.
Probably not. It's probably
That's so last
considered
century, isn't it?
offensive terminology.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, don't call me that. I'm a woman, or I'm a man, or I'm a they, I'm a them, I'm an it, whatever you want to fucking call people.
Dr. Iceman, I can't believe it's not butter. There you go.
Hey,
I think she was doing an homage to Simply Irresistible music video.
maybe.
I mean,
Well, she's not
that's
pretty enough for
considered
that.
sexist now, isn't it? That's
She's got the
considered
hair
sexist.
Didn't those chicks actually have boobs in the video? I mean, I'm just saying.
Actually, no.
Don't.
No, there were
I'm
some
just
pretty
saying.
flat ones. They were all like models.
There were a lot
yeah.
of flat ones. Yeah.
Eggs BT is cool with me. There you go. Okay. It will be. I'm sure this is just gonna go on, and many channels will be talking about this forever.
Forever,
Ever.
So, what are we getting from this?
That will
Cancer.
Look, the
Does it
script hasn't
even
been written
exist?
yet.
Oh no, there's no
Basically,
mention of
they
a
are trying
script.
to, they're trying to actually get some attention on it, trying to attract any financiers that might be interested in the next Star Wars film. That's why they got all this crap out. She probably didn't say any of this stuff.
Oh
I
no,
think
she
what
did.
we're
You can find the interview clip.
Oh, can she? Oh, she did.
It's,
Yeah.
it's an interview about a film she's currently got out, which is called something like "I Sometimes Think About Death."
Oh, that sounds jolly.
Which is, yeah, it does, yeah, which is also appropriate given we're talking about Star Wars, and it obviously makes everybody try and
War
think
of
of death.
Stars.
But she, no,
Yeah.
she's given this interview in response to that, and then obviously having been announced, then the interviewer got onto this film. I believe Brown's next slide will inevitably be the whole sexism thing, because I know this show and I know how it goes. So
Yeah, because he doesn't move on. He just takes a little sidestep.
Reniel in the chat. Bogged on boring.
Again.
Well, there is. So if you,
They're picking on me.
especially if you've worked with people in,
That's what we
in the
do.
entertainment industry, they are all they will talk about current thing, but almost always as a vehicle to talk about the next thing they're doing, and they never go, "Nah, I've got nothing coming up." It's always, they will always talk about, no, and I've got these 4 or 5 things. They're in the works. In the works is code for nothing has been decided. It's, we talked about it while having a drink, and if we can find people to give us money, then success. But if not, oh well, we'll find something else that'll be in the works. And this is what this sounds like.
So it's not going to happen then. Let's move
I
on.
don't think so.
What did you say, Lord?
Oh my God.
what?
What
Did you just
say?
delete the slide that I was expecting to come up and replace it with this one?
It was not on the
probably
list
did.
that he
No,
sent
wait a minute.
me.
Look.
Yeah.
Oh,
Believe
well,
it or
there you
not.
go.
I know. Every so often, Brown shocks us and does not bog forever up, and there we are. But
I didn't even know this was happening. New He-Man.
I heard about it, but I wasn't interested, so I kind of tuned out for
Yeah.
some of it. But
Yeah.
Is he crying in that photo? It's so hard to
Isn't
tell if
Kevin
he is
Smith
or
always
isn't
crying?
Yeah.
he's always crying, either tears of joy or tears of sadness. And on his recent social media stuff for the past year or two, it's always tears in his eyes.
Well, the thing about Kevin Smith is that he's really not working at all, and he's not writing anything, and people are not financing his stuff. So he's going to grab onto anything, isn't he? So this is what he's grabbing onto, even though the last.
But he doesn't need it. He's rich as hell.
No, he's not. He's not.
I'm
Well,
pretty
what
sure
makes you
Kevin
think that
Smith is
idea?
worth quite a bit of money, man. His
Not
View Askew
much.
universe was pretty
Well,
profitable for him because
the
a lot
most
of those
important
movies
thing
didn't
for
cost
him,
much to make.
the most important thing for him is creating, isn't it? And people like the stuff that he
Maybe.
creates, but that's not happened in years. Stuff that he's
Sword in
doing.
the
So there
Storms
you
watched
go.
the first
Oh,
2
hey, stop
episodes.
interrupting me, for God's sake! Why? You're so rude, Ian. Anyway, carry on.
Oh my god.
Go on.
We
carry
should
on.
have a stream. Ian's interrupting Ian's.
Ian's,
That'd
yeah.
be fun.
Go on, carry on.
Interruptions.
I'm going to brain
I
you.
like it.
Try
Is
it.
that sexy talk?
People have got places to go to, Ian. You're just rambling on.
Oh,
Sword in
look
the
who's talking!
I was gonna say, come on now.
bog.
Sword in the Storm, episode 2. Adam makes some guy he just met the new king.
Hey, what?
Sword in the
Oh.
Storms watched the first 2 episodes.
Oh, okay.
I had a look round some of the review sites. They're all saying it's a marked improvement on season 1,
Oh.
which wouldn't be too difficult, would it?
I say, given the backlash from season 1, I don't know. I don't know how you could have made it worse. I'm
I
sure he
just-
could have been innovative and figured out a way, but
Is anybody looking forward to this? Is anybody actually interested in this after what they did to He-Man?
No.
I don't know anyone that
Killed him
watched it.
twice.
Yeah.
And until
Yeah,
he gives
so-
a public apology to Clownfish TV, Kevin Smith can go fuck himself.
Yeah, he hasn't, has he? Mm.
Okay. Right.
Oh, well,
On that,
never
we'll
mind.
move on then.
Oh, yes.
This has been kicking off.
Yeah.
Erin Moriarty slams Megyn Kelly for participating in attacks against her regarding claims the actress underwent plastic surgery. Moriarty says these claims are false and adds it's a result of major contouring.
Bullshit.
Makeup.
What is contouring? Anybody know?
It's a type of
makeup.
makeup procedure or makeup styling that Kim Kardashian made famous a couple years ago. I have a friend who's like an awesome makeup artist and drag queen, and he can contour the hell out of anything, and he's amazing. But that is not contouring. That is surgery and or fillers and or some other cosmetic procedure. She is full of shit. I don't understand why she needed to get this done. She was a beautiful girl, and now she looks like just like some 40-something like
porn actress.
Instagram / like OnlyFans chick trying to look young, which is stupid because she looked young and she looked pretty before she did this to her face.
Well, hold
understand.
on. Did she say that she never touched her face? So, right, so
we
will see.
She's saying it's all makeup. And it's bullshit.
Well, Rennie, we will see in the next Boys, won't we? Because she's appearing in the next Boys, and if her nose looks like that, then
Did you see the trailer for it? She looked like shit in that. For the 2 seconds she was in it, I was like, oh my God. She had it done like before they filmed that season.
Then if she
was bad,
why would she call out Megyn Kelly for it?
Because I guess Megyn Kelly jumped on
her out for it. Yeah, so Megyn Kelly said she had plastic surgery and she made herself look fugly. And then Erin Moriarty said, "No, I didn't, bitch," and that's the internet for the last week.
Well, and she said she's going to cancel her socials indefinitely.
Oh no! Can anything go? Oh, nothing seems to have changed. Oh, I guess we can carry on.
Perhaps she should cancel her plastic surgeon.
Michael
I
Jackson
think to answer,
said he never had surgery either.
To answer,
I actually believe Michael Jackson.
To answer Hammer Biotech's question, I think she's like 29, almost 30. I can't remember, but
29.
Yeah, so it's just to even have that done in your 20s. She ruined her skin and her face.
Still in her
It's sad. It is so sad. It makes me so sad to see that because she was such a pretty girl. She didn't need that.
Yeah.
Why didn't someone just say, "Don't do it"?
But we'll see if she's right or she's right.
But even if not, even if it is just makeup, fire your makeup artist.
Yeah,
because that's not a good look. I can do better makeup than that, and I only do it twice a year. So,
well, I vote the Lord to be the makeup person in in the next Boys, if they are going to make a next Boys.
Side effects: Hollywood claims another.
Right?
We'll see.
It's like a sickness that they have when they're, on the West Coast and they're in the whole business and they just think that they have to do this stuff to keep up. And I don't understand that mentality. It's insane.
Ascension is just around the corner for her. Let's move on. Warner Brothers is the frontrunner to acquire Superman, the Christopher Reeve story, for $15 million. The documentary follows how Christopher Reeve found strength and purpose through activism after he was paralyzed in an equestrian accident.
What activism did he do? Because the only activism I'm aware of is the South Park episode where he goes around sucking the spinal fluid out of dead babies.
Oh yeah, the stem cell one. Yeah. I think he did try to didn't he try to help people that were kind of going through some of the same stuff that he did? I can't remember.
He raised money for spinal cord research.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think he may have also advocated for common sense horse control laws that.
Were you crushed by a horse in an accident that wasn't your fault?
Yeah, well, you get thrown from a horse because you weren't that good of a rider.
I love that poster, though. I have two. I had that one when I was a kid and the one where he was pointing at the sky. I loved it. Loved those
not Brian in the chat. Hello, Brian. I read his autobiography last year. Incredible guy.
Mm-hmm. He was from everything that I've read and I've heard, he was a great humanitarian. I don't know how true that is, but he sounds like he was.
That costume has to come back, man. It's so classic.
Bedelia, he brought awareness. I wouldn't call it activism.
Right.
There you go.
Well, that's what they call it now.
Yeah.
Depends on who you talk to and what their definition of activism is. It's all a matter of opinion nowadays, which is sad, but it's all about perception anymore.
Takes me back. Takes me back. Really does.
Okay. The greatest of all time Superman, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
No contest.
Let's move on, because there's a lot to get through.
Oh, wow. Now you're actually moving on from this one. Go, dude.
Okay, I thought I'd throw this in. They're doing a What If Aliens comic, and Paul Reiser, who played
Reiser.
Carter, yeah.
Is
played
it what if
Carter.
Miles Morales was a xenomorph?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
What if a xenomorph was Spider-Man?
Would he be Spider-Man or Spider-Morph?
Oh, Spider-Morph.
Oh.
I like it.
Smilex, look at that girl boss. Yes.
Well, as the brand's owned by Disney and she's the queen, does that not make every xenomorph a Disney princess?
I think
Pretty
so.
much.
Ooh.
I don't know that we know the gender of the drones. I mean,
Yeah, exactly.
We definitely know
I
the
think
queen.
it's too
but-
early to say. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought in one of the deleted scenes, he did survive to a certain point.
He lives a bit longer.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
does. Yeah, I think he was in a cocoon, wasn't he? In the deleted scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know, I'd love to see the super mega long cut of Aliens with everything that's been filmed.
Especially the bit where the doors open and the woman with the tea trolley comes out, and James Cameron screaming from the top of his head.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. That'd be amazing. That'd be
Good
amazing.
film.
Is anyone excited for this, or is it just Disney beating the multiverse mechanic to death?
Of course.
I'm
they
going to
are.
go with option 2.
Well, what if, isn't it? It's just
More bullshit.
Well, not only that, but I mean, the Aliens franchise was destroyed a good long time ago. So, I mean, let it die.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
Okay. Aliens. Netflix has hinted at further price increases for subscribers.
No
And then
way.
this goes blah, 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 invest, blah, 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 bullshit, bullshit, bullshit.
But you can't share your password or else we're going to get you.
Well, they are the biggest streaming that platform can't be in the world, are they? No.
Yeah.
I mean, are they
yes.
still, though? I've known a lot of people that have canceled when they started cracking down on everything, especially the sharing password stuff. It's like, okay, you're going to take this away and then you're going to increase as well. I mean, you can't have it both ways. And now they're going to do another price increase. I don't see the point in paying for it when you can find a lot of their stuff in other places, but that's just me.
Dr. Iceman, I'm Netflix free for a year now.
Yeah.
And
we'll do
with-
without.
Every streaming provider bumping up their prices, eventually decisions are going to have to be made when you've got all of these accumulating on top of each other, and you're going to have to end up dropping one because it's just become too unaffordable.
Yeah, it's true. I only have Amazon and Netflix because, in my opinion, those two give out the best entertainment.
And Amazon's going to start running ads.
Yeah.
That's right. Unless you pay for the upgraded service
All
without
to pay
ads.
for Rings of Power.
Well,
See,
I
I
think you're doing cable television again. I mean, this
That's
is
exactly
just the
it.
wheel of technology. It's how it works.
Except for it all being on demand versus like, okay, this show comes on at this time. You can watch it whenever you want. And I'll be honest with you guys, I only have Disney Plus and Hulu, and that's only because Verizon pays for it. So if they weren't free, I probably wouldn't have them, but I digress.
The Lord has said many, many times over the couple of years or so we've known him that the streaming model is not a particularly good model, is it?
No. I mean, for multiple reasons, and it depends on which model you're looking at. So you have a couple of real problems just financially. One is that there's a reason that you have advertising for the vast majority of channels and in the past and shows that had specific sponsors, and it's because you have a set demographic and those marketers want access to those eyeballs. When you have a pay and no ad model, a couple of things happen. One is that the expense and the success and failure of any individual show is not particularly relevant to the overall revenue that you get. So the signal that you get for quality or lack thereof is diminished. If your revenue for a particular show depends on the ads that are being shown and the audience you have a direct corollary as to whether or not that show is successful. When it's just a paid and that's it, that signal is diminished, and you're trying to divine it by reading the tea leaves, which gives a lot of opportunity for incompetent people to claim that it really is successful when it's not. Disney Plus is the worst type of streaming model because not only do they have that problem of the divorce of directly measuring revenue based on a particular show, but they also are cutting off their financial noses to spite their faces because they're killing their physical media sales. They are killing the syndication revenue that they can get from having it on other platforms. That's just a stupid decision.
Plus, the COVID thing didn't help because obviously it all kind of kicked off, didn't it? It did really, really well. 2020, everybody wanted stuff to watch.
Well,
it was just a bubble, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, you had some dumb financial decisions by other channels and rights holders who saw those sweet Wall Street returns from Netflix and said, yes, I'd like some of that, please. And without understanding how you actually make money in that model and how it can impact the rest of your revenue, Iger being the worst example of this. And so they hop onto it. And there's this illusion of success because of 2020. And boy, did that get up and blow away. And now they're stuck holding the bag.
Okay, let's move on, folks. Okay, so obviously Daredevil reshoots are going on. This was posted this week. So the top one was the original Daredevil.
Is that Foggy?
Set photo from this week.
Well, why does he look so different? What's going on there?
Yeah, it looks like the guy from The Expanse.
It does. Weird. Oh, never mind. Okay.
Good or bad?
You're bad. And also, Charlie Cox, he's losing his hair rapidly, isn't he? Jeez.
Lost it.
It's the mask.
It's the mask. Yeah. Only Karen Page looks the same. The other two looks like they've aged quite a lot. She looks the same from the top picture to the bottom picture. The girl who plays Karen Page. Well, as far as I can tell, because it's a bit blurry, the picture.
Yeah. Anyone holding any hope for this?
No.
Bob Oak, mate.
No.
Bob Oak.
No.
The only thing I'm mildly interested in is that now it's officially part of the MCU canon, which has only been decided within the last few months. Which already causes problems because obviously there's been several seasons of Daredevil already which don't really correspond with the established MCU. But it's whether or not they take Echo forward in this show, given that he was supposed to appear more often in the Echo show. They got rid of him because it was supposed to set up this series. They got rid of most of his scenes. But at the end of Echo, for all the 3 people who watched that show, Kingpin is about to run for mayor. So I guess that will be carried forward. That is set up for Born Again. But it will be interesting. Effectively, it's just going to be interesting to see how closely they try and bed this in with the broader canon. I don't know that they will try particularly hard or that it will work, but I think they will try.
Well, they might replace Kingpin with Echo if Echo took the crown. According to some, I've never seen Echo, but in the Born Again story, it's because of Kingpin, and that's how Daredevil fell in the Born Again story. So, are they going to replace the Kingpin character within this story with Echo? That's the question, right? So there you go.
Dr. Asman, Thanos tried to stop this from happening.
Well, he did, because they paused production in mid-June of last year when they'd actually already shot half of the series, which I think was 18 episodes. So they shot 9 of them. And in September, Marvel let go of the head writers, Chris Ord and Matt Corman. So they're basically starting again from scratch as of September of last year.
again, I would say, how are they going to do this? Because the whole Born Again story revolves around Kingpin, Urich, who's died, you know, finding out he was finding his mother and all that stuff. It all stems from there. But they did all that in the Netflix series. So I don't know how. I don't know what kind of. Is it just Born Again in title alone?
It's Born
not
Again,
the comics.
again.
What if he's like a born again Christian?
Yeah, probably.
He's a
He's Catholic.
He's Catholic.
Born,
He's kinda
born
stuck with
again
it.
Catholic. Can you get those?
I don't think you can.
I was going to say, I don't think that's a thing in Catholicism. I could be wrong.
Tends to be more of a Baptist kind of thing, I think.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And also, Foggy plays a big role in Born Again as well. In it, and Jonathan J. Jameson obviously is part of the Daily Bugle's part of Born Again as well in the comics. So obviously they're not going to do that, or are they? Because they own now, because obviously they own a bit of Spider-Man, so it's going to be interesting.
They just steal titles from better stories.
Yeah,
And we got that whole incident where Nuke destroys half of Hell's Kitchen.
that's right. Yep. But they I mean, he dress up like Daredevil as well, doesn't he? In Born Again.
Yeah.
And
or is that a different one where he takes his identity? I think that's in Ultimate Daredevil.
I think it's in Born Again too, as well. They got somebody to dress up like him.
Yeah, steals his identity.
That's it.
A bit like the Craven's Last Hunt Spider-Man storyline.
Yeah. So I don't know what kind of mess this is going to be, but you just know it's going to be bad.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they look like they're enjoying themselves, but anyway, should we move
They're
on?
getting paid, aren't they?
Yes.
Oh, is that what it is? They're getting paid.
Yeah.
No, that's
Yeah.
because they're not having to
Money.
watch it.
Fair enough. Okay, let's move on. Okay, John David Washington
I wonder who he's related to,
is reportedly being considered for the role of Kang.
because he's not a good leading man, which everybody's been saying he isn't. He's a terrible leading man.
He agreed.
Well, not only that, but I mean, let the Kang thing die.
Exactly.
You've already diluted it to the point that it's irrelevant. I think Kang wasn't all that impressive a comic villain to begin with, but
Yes, agreed.
doubly so when you've seen Kang beaten multiple times.
By
There's
ants.
no menace to someone that every time you see him, he slips on a banana peel and falls into a bunch of ants and they kill him. That's who cares, right?
Let's just pretend Kang never happened and move on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Like
let's
it.
Move on. Let's move on then.
Yep.
Okay, did anybody see this as well? I'll just quickly do this one. Tenet is coming back to theatres next month.
Oh, yay.
Is it really Christopher Nolan's most misunderstood movie?
No, it's
No, maybe
Christopher
it's his most
Nolan's
shit
rubbish movie. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolute shit movie.
I think Christopher Nolan misunderstood this film.
Yeah. Maybe he misunderstood the perception of his film and didn't realize how shitty it was to the audience.
He
And
clearly
just-
thought it was good.
And just think, I made the effort to go to the cinema because remember all the cinemas were shut and stuff, and it opened, and
COVID,
that was
yeah.
screening. I thought I've got to go to the cinema. I went to
Same
see
here.
it. And I was
Yeah,
so
because you couldn't see
disappointed.
one for the longest time.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Utter poop.
Protagonist. He was called the protagonist in the film. How crazy, stupid and shit is that?
Lord, thoughts on Tenet?
I have none. It's a pointless film.
Short. I think the Lord's catching up with his sleep because he's been in so many streams.
He's preparing
He's
himself
just
for his
sitting there
third
trying to go to
stream.
sleep.
I'm tinkering with my little animated avatar in the back room, so I'm doing some work. No, yeah, it's Christopher Nolan trying to be clever.
Yes,
Mhm.
very.
And
Agreed.
he's trying to be clever at the expense of having a story to tell, unlike this one, by all accounts, which has a story to tell first and foremost.
Yeah.
Okay, quickly, I'll just put this in. Oppenheimer releases in Japan March 29.
Did you see the Corridor Crew, Ian, when they were
I
talking
haven't
about?
seen them this week, no.
All right, so they were talking about the explosion in this film and how bad it was, and how obviously because Chris Nolan didn't want CGI in it, and how they did it practically, as I recall, and how bad it didn't anything like a nuclear explosion at all.
It was a bit.
So it was well, it's a bit bit rubbish they were saying.
Are they going to
I
release this as Godzilla -2?
It's kind of
Don't
a
know.
sequel, isn't it?
Well, it's the
Yeah.
prequel to Godzilla.
Prequel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Here you go, folks. FKHC 2005. That misspelled. That's me. Masters of the Air. I need to watch it. My grandfather flew P-51Ds out of England during World War II. Wow.
Oh.
Wow. Wow. I liked it. Just.
Isn't he
You were
scared
the only
standing
one.
in all that
Only
fire?
one, yes.
Standing in all that fire and he ain't
It
scared.
looks like the
Is he
this is-
Galadriel?
Yeah.
it looks like the Guinness advert. Do you remember that?
Oh
one?
yeah, I remember that one. Yeah.
Okay. Question before we move on. Is it going to bomb?
Twice.
Is that meant to be funny?
That's the
God,
joke that just
no.
doesn't get old.
Oh God, do I have to?
It doesn't get funny.
Didn't he make that joke on Open Bar as well? And I was like, oh my God, cringe. No, he didn't.
Welcome to tried and tested material.
It got old in like
Brad.
1945 and it's still going.
Exactly.
I'm
Amen.
here all week.
Well, that means it's
Welcome
fresh
back.
for Brown.
I'm here all week. Let's move on.
Oh,
Speaking of
sidestep
Nolan,
again.
right? We're doing the. We'll try and blast through the Oscar stuff because I'm bored of it. Christopher Nolan says best director #Oscar win would. God, I hate this saying. Would mean the world to me.
Actually,
Oh.
he does deserve it. You got to admit
Yeah,
that
it's
film
good.
was really
Yeah,
well
yeah.
directed. He deserves it. If he wins, he deserves it.
Yeah, but it's sexist though because Greta Gerwig should have got it,
Yes.
obviously, along with every other award that's ever been made.
That is a problem, isn't it? Just because the film made, I won't ask Z to do it, so it blows my cap. Was it 1.2 billion?
I think it's close to
Billion.
1.4, I think, isn't it, at this point?
That
So the
means
que-
that obviously it's a shoe in for
The
Oscars.
question is, right? Did this film tick all the boxes when it came to diversity? Behind
That's
the
a good
camera, in front of the
question.
camera. Did it?
I think it did behind the camera because
Behind
Not
the
in
camera,
front of
in
the
front
camera,
of.
though.
Not in front.
Mhm.
No.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I think when I read this, I was like, okay, this is more
Agreed.
of just a personal thing, you know, that he's talking about when he grew up, you know, loving movies and watching the Academy Awards as a kid, and that this has always been the highest recognition, and he's excited to be considered, and he hope he wins. Well, yes, you would hope so. You know, I don't know that there's anything especially revelatory about this statement.
Here you go, folks. George K.W. Margot Robbie lost out to other women. So what's the problem? Makes no sense.
Indeed.
Fair point.
Well, if you're looking to make sense from activists, you've come to the wrong place.
Oh, I thought you were so close to saying if you're looking for women to make sense.
Oh,
you've come to the
yes.
wrong place, but you just-
He
you
did
wrote
want to
it
say
back.
that.
It's all
I
good.
thought that was just understood.
I will say, Southern Storm, still enjoying your avatar. Very good. He needs to check his white male privilege.
Well, but that's the thing, right? I mean, when it's a historical film, can you add diversity to it just to add diversity, or does it need to make sense in the historical sense? You know what I mean?
Look, history is problematic, and we need
Yeah,
to
that's
correct the problems of history, which is why
That's
I advocate for more black Nazis in World War II.
Speaking of World War II and black Nazis, I'm sure I read somewhere today, didn't somebody's wanting to do a Winston Churchill, and they want to race swap him.
Well, you
Really?
can't. That's not who he was. Like, that's not his biology.
Look, if
Rennie,
Doctor
I
Who
don't
did
care.
it for
I
Isaac
don't care
Newton.
what they taught you in school, Rennie. My grandma
I
said
know.
Winston
Yes.
Churchill was black, and that is the standard that we go by.
I'm
in
sorry,
modern
I was
documentaries.
wrong.
More than enough evidence for me.
We will fight them on the beach.
Oh Lord.
Come on.
Aye,
We shall not be surrendering, man.
And this is how Brown gets canceled, folks.
I nearly got cancelled on Wednesday. I'm used to it by now.
Well, there's always hope.
No hope. Bob Hope.
Okay. I hope he gets it though.
Yeah, I
he
think.
deserves
Yeah,
it.
you're right,
Yeah.
Ian. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think he
gets
deserves it, don't you?
Yeah, I think he deserves it.
Yeah.
Chat, does he deserve the win this year? I think he does.
It was a good film. It's a very good film. Very well directed.
Just a normal film any other year. But
I
because
don't
we
know. I
like-
think it was. I look. It's really hard to direct something like that, and he made the way he directed it and the way it was edited. You weren't bored. You
That's
think
true.
the subject matter would make you be
it was a good 3
bored as
hours,
hell,
yeah,
but it
yeah.
isn't. It held my attention all the way through. So yes, he deserves it.
Well,
He
and
really does.
biopics used to be Oscar bait, back
Yeah.
in the 80s and all that. You had Gandhi and so many of the classic biopics. Those were these huge epics that were really shot and very much aimed at the Oscars.
I'm not a fan of Chris Nolan at all, but I think he did a really good job on this movie, definitely.
It's a good
There you go.
movie. It's a good movie. It's a good movie. Let's move on. I think it's Oscar stuff. I can't remember, folks. Okay, yeah, it is. Okay, so we'll just quickly blast through all the Oscar stuff. Most nominated films. We got top 8 there. Oppenheimer 13, Poor Things 11, Killer's Flower Moon 10, Barbie 8, Maestro 7, The Holdovers 5, American Fiction 5, Zone of Interest 5, and then there are others. What do we think?
I think Killer of the Flower Moon is it might surprise us because of the diversity
Really?
stuff.
Oh yeah,
I reckon.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Yeah, I would think that would be Oppenheimer's biggest competitor in that race.
That's what I think. Yeah, I agree, Rennie. And also, The Holdovers was, in my opinion, a really, really entertaining movie, and I think it deserves what it's been nominated for. I'm assuming it's been nominated for performances by actors and director. I don't know what it's been nominated for, but it's a good film. Deserves to be there.
Poor Things is the Emma Stone.
Yeah, the big-eyed girl.
Anybody seen that?
Mm-mm.
No.
No.
Is it true that Ryan Gosling got nominated, but what's her name didn't?
Yes.
Yeah, and
wow.
And he spoke out against it and said that
Ken.
wasn't fair. It wasn't right. I'm like, oh my God. Here we go.
Okay, so Oppenheimer's going to steal the show, yeah? Do we think that? I think it probably is.
I think so.
I hope it does. Yeah.
So do I.
Yeah. Okay. We'll blast through these. Okay, so here you go. Oscar nominations: Best Actor. Is it Cillian Murphy?
Cillian
Murphy. Apologies. Oppenheimer. Paul Giamatti, Holdovers. Bradley Cooper, Maestro. Coleman, Domingo. Rustin, Jeffrey Wright.
Well, I haven't seen American Fiction. I haven't seen Rustin. I have seen the Bradley Cooper one. I've seen obviously Holdovers, and I've seen Oppenheimer. And I think Paul should get it because he was better than Cillian. No, he's better. He was so much better.
Paul Giamatti is a great actor. I haven't seen that movie, but he is a great actor.
Yeah, he really did hold that movie more so than Cillian Murphy.
You go. Just toss a coin for it.
Yeah.
I
think has anybody seen Maestro? Anyone? Because it's on Netflix. And do you know what came across to me when I was watching that film? Right, it came across to me they were trying so hard to get nominated.
Yeah, it's very much Oscar bait.
It felt like that when you were watching it.
Well, it worked.
Well, as I said, you kind of took me out of it slightly. You know what I mean?
Anyway. Manuel Grell, and the Oscar goes to Jeffrey Wright because boxes need to be ticked.
Well, to be fair, right, I haven't seen the film. If his performance is, out of this world, then it'll deserve it. But I haven't seen it, so I can't really pass judgment.
Couple of super chats, if I may. Whoosh Bala for $5. Thank you, my friend. I'd like to remind everyone that Mr. Brune gave Kenobi D+ show a 6 out of 10. Did I? Christ.
Yeah, you rate stuff a little high sometimes. I worry.
I must have been. I think it was mainly for the production, probably. Story with dog shit, and
maybe you were drunk on flat tonic water.
You've been hitting the tonic water again.
I think Rest in Peace Calcom probably would have scored an extra couple of points. Kenobi streams are 10 out of 10 though. No, they're not bad. Z, are you available, my friend?
I most certainly am. Hooligan S3 for $9.99 says, Damon Wayans is Churchill, coming 2026.
Mon.
I mean, he's old enough now.
He certainly is.
Okay, so should we move on?
Please.
Guess where? It's a sidestep.
Uh-huh.
No
Okay.
way.
Best actress. So Emma Stone, Poor Things.
Big eyes.
Carey Mulligan, Maestro, Lily Gladstone, Killers of Flower Moon. Annette Bening, was that Naiad?
Is that the swimmer film?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen
With her
it.
and Jodie Foster.
Yeah, it's okay. She's good in it.
Sandra Huller, Anatomy of a
Don't
Fall.
know that one.
Is that the making of the Life Alert commercials?
I don't know.
But in
I'm
the
sure that's an
whole-
American joke.
In
Yeah,
the whole
because
Barbie
the-
Oscar kerfuffle, a lot of people seem to forget that this is who Margot Robbie is up against.
Yeah.
Yes.
The Best Actress category, not Best Supporting Actor. It's got nothing to do with Ken. It's,
But these
are the
didn't
people
make
you're fighting up against.
1.4 billion.
It's not the point. We're talking about performances here. So it's
Yeah,
not how much the
exactly.
film made. It's the performances between the actresses.
Sadly, I didn't think any of the women in Oppenheimer stood out enough to have a nomination in this or were in
Agreed.
it enough. So I don't think it's
supporting
bad that they were
others.
snubbed. So what the hell is the problem with Margot Robbie not getting a nomination? Just saying.
Also, Carey Mulligan, right, in Maestro, she, as far as I was concerned, she was overacting. It didn't come across as natural at all. As again, I said, when I watched that film, it was like everybody was like, yeah, we want to be nominated. And it just came across like that. But then again, it just might be me.
Willing to bet it's going to be Lily Gladstone that wins?
I can't imagine why.
Yeah, no idea. Just putting it out there, folks.
I think Emma Stone should win, but I haven't seen Poor Things.
Yeah, I wanted to see that, but I just never got around to it because it looks quirkily good.
Yeah.
Well, I've definitely seen scenes from it, and her acting is again, it's for the same reason that I don't think Margot Robbie should be nominated. Margot Robbie doesn't really have any difference in the acting, right? She is like the staid straight character versus Ken's arc and more comic side. And when you play the straight man in a comic duo, you are rarely the one that people think are funny, even though the whole premise depends upon you and being able to deliver that. But I just don't think Margot Robbie had any arc.
Could you imagine, right, if Barbie, if one of the actors that was nominated for Oppenheimer lost against someone from Barbie? Imagine the uproar.
That would be a
afterwards.
slap
It
in
just-
the face.
Yeah. Or if is Barbie nominated for best film? Anybody?
Don't
Anybody
think
know?
so.
All right.
Don't know.
Yeah. So it'd be interesting. Put it that way.
Here you go, folks. Professor R2 for $2. Little Platoon is Margaret Thatcher coming in 2026. He'd be very good at it. Playing Maggie. Z, are you available, my friend?
I am available. RRTNZ for New Zealand $10 says, Hale Brown, panel and chat, hoping Oppenheimer blasts aside all opposition. A multi-layered take on a key event in human history. Also, well done, Brown, for your appearance on Open Bar.
It wasn't him.
It was a homeless man that was
Homeless
got off
guy.
the street, a vagrant. Yeah.
He crooked him.
Yes, this was a vagrant.
Just so happens to have the same name.
Here you go, folks. Pontypool 82 for £5. Real money, allegedly, folks. Fucking hell, we had a brown face reveal. Handsome bastard. We need more of these. Do a poll for who's next. Ian, you're on for a face reveal, aren't you?
What? They know they've seen what I look like. They can just
I was
watch
gonna
him.
say.
His face.
Yeah. They can just watch what you call it, Dan stream. I'm always on that.
He is.
They know what I look like, so I'm an easy target.
Okay, folks. So that was best actress. Let's move on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Oscars, best supporting actor. Ryan Gosling, Barbie, Robert Downey Jr., Oppenheimer, Robert De Niro, Killers of the Flower Moon, Sterling K. Brown, no relation, American Fiction, Mark Ruffalo, Poor Things. What do we think to this one?
I'm betting on Robert Downey Jr. winning this one.
Mm-hmm. If he doesn't, that's just sad.
Lord, who do you think's going to take this one?
Yeah, probably Robert Downey Jr. I don't think Ryan Gosling should be on the list, but
No.
otherwise, I don't care.
And it's not because he's snubbing Margot Robbie or the director. He just being nominated for Barbie is ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, he's the most relatable character in a film with completely unrelatable things and people in it. So obviously, he stands out in the context of that film. But I do think that most of these nominations are just there because it made loads of money, and so they had to throw in Barbie in as many random categories as they could. They thought they had space for. But there are plenty. I'm sure there are plenty of better supporting actors in any number of things, and there are a dozen of them in Godzilla -1 alone. So I would happily see Ryan Gosling yeeted from the list. But yeah, Robert Downey Jr. should win.
In a perfect world, yes. But you never know. Okay. Gosling was I thought it was fun in Barbie. As you know, I watched it on Thursday.
Like Oscar-worthy fun, or?
No, but I think he was, as I said, very hammy. I think he was just enjoying to be there, just kind of hamming it up, as it were. But
Mark Ruffalo, he's nominated.
Yep.
Oh dear.
Downey Jr. should win it because he was just fantastic.
Yeah, he was great. Yeah.
But anyway.
Although Robert De Niro was good in Killers of the Flower. He was really good in it as well.
Again, I wanted to go watch that movie, but was it like 7 hours long? I just thought, I don't want to sit through.
Yeah, I didn't think much of it, but you can't fault the performances. Right across the board, performances are excellent.
Yeah, there was just one or two bad kind of reviews, and I thought, do I really want to go see this?
Yeah.
Didn't Robert Downey Jr. announce it today or the day before, maybe, that he'd stopped being vegan because he tried it and he realized that you should never go full vegan?
I was just about to say that,
I
Lord.
think so. I think
Never
so.
go full vegan, folks. Never go full vegan.
Yeah, he does. I mean, is it the way he looks now? Is it because he went vegan?
Probably.
Partly.
Oh, okay.
It's always hard to tell between veganism and AIDS, but I'm thinking it's probably veganism.
Yeah, at least they have a treatment for AIDS.
He's on fire tonight, isn't he, the Lord?
Well, he's
Yeah.
had practice. How old is Downey? I think he's got a couple of years on me.
He's like mid to late 50s, right?
He must.
He's got
Is
to
he
be
in his
approaching
60s?
60.
Yeah, he's probably in his 60s now.
No, he's got-
58.
58.
Boom.
Hello,
Wow.
same age as me. Bloody hell.
You know what? I don't think veganism had anything to do with it then.
Maybe he was
I
just on
thought-
a long diet.
Didn't he say he went vegan to lose all that weight for Oppenheimer, or no? Was it another role that he did? But he said he went full vegan to
Possibly,
lose weight
yeah.
for a role. I thought it was
Yeah.
this one.
Don't know.
Never go
Haters.
full vegan, folks. Okay, let's do some super chats. Z, you're very busy this evening. Gold-coloured super chats. Are you
I
available, my
know.
friend?
Common people for 10 British pounds. That's real money, ladies and gentlemen. As my old dad used to say, if you think it's purple now, wait till your mother gets home.
Dear, oh dear.
Does anybody remember that cartoon? Wait till your
Wait
father
till your
gets
father
home.
gets home. Yeah, I remember
Christ.
that.
Yeah, that was a Hanna-Barbera effort from the 70s, wasn't
Yeah.
It was. Yeah.
Peace or utter destruction for $5. Thank you, my friend. I decided the Oscars were worthless when I found out Harvey Korman didn't win for Blazing Saddles. Wow.
Hedy Lamar.
Thing is,
It's
though,
Headley.
yeah, when I was a lot younger, used to make the effort to see the Oscars because I think it started at 1
Yep.
o'clock or 1:30 in the morning,
Yep.
our time. So we used to stay up and have loads of beers and, you know, scream at the screen when something didn't go our way and stuff like that. But now I just can't be
cares?
bothered with it. Yeah.
They're
Sorry.
a lot
somebody
less
was
of an
saying something.
event now, aren't they?
Yeah. They're not. Yeah, you're right.
Well, I
It's
think
just- I think
you have a lot
sorry.
less of a shared communal experience too.
Yeah.
You know, the big movies everybody talked about at the water cooler and all that
Exactly,
wasn't,
yeah.
oh, I saw it on streaming or something. And then the other thing is there were only 3 channels, you know, in the US. There wasn't much on, and so, you know, oh, it's the Oscars. Okay, let's watch that.
Oh,
Wow.
right. Is it
Yeah.
Brian? Excellent. The thing,
They've
as-
never been on ITV, never.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, I used to think, you know, Hollywood and the Oscars was, you know, it was the top that you can get, right? But now I just think it's all sad. I think Hollywood is sad. I think the Oscars is sad because you realize that it's all fixed. Majority of it's fixed and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Well, it also doesn't help that everybody famous in Hollywood decided to stop using PR agents to put out their public statements. Instead, got on Twitter and demonstrated how stupid they are.
Well,
What's
let me
next
give you
one?
an example, right? Keith told me this, right? So, for instance, okay, when like BAFTA, let's say BAFTA, right? When you have a film out, okay, what BAFTA and all of them are nominated for BAFTAs. The BAFTA organization, they send you tapes. They used to send you tapes in the old days so you can watch the film and vote for them, right?
Right.
Or they used to put it on a venue where you would go for it. Like, for instance, if Oppenheimer was out like 10 years ago, they'd have like 9 cinemas around for the BAFTA members to go and see that film. But if your film was a low budget film and it was nominated for a BAFTA, you could only afford to put it in 1 screening.
What?
So that means less people are going to watch it. So you can see how it's not really fair when it comes to movies. You know what I mean? So the big ones are always going to get the most focus when it comes to the awards. And that's just one example. So there you go.
Well, I think the more that you understand how things are made and how, you know, the practicalities of the social stuff or whatever, you start to realize that their feet are made of clay.
Yes. That's that you said it better than how I
It's very good, isn't
demonstrated
it? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on then. Probably more Oscars. Can't remember. Okay, and this is just the backlash. The storm in a teacup.
Ryan
Gosling. There is no Ken without Barbie, and there is no Barbie movie without Greta Gerwig or Margot Robbie. No recognition would be possible without their talent. Grit and genius? Blah 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 blah.
Dude,
blah.
who
They
gives a
got
shit?
nominated. Both of them are nominated.
Yeah.
It's so incredibly boring. Margot Robbie got nominated for a producer role. Greta Gerwig got nominated for something else. They have been nominated and recognized. Again, tell me, Ryan Gosling, which of the other women on that list do you want to get rid of so fucking Margot Robbie can be there?
Like, why would a film like Barbie be Oscar worthy as far as best
It was
actor
shite.
and actress? That is the dumbest thing ever. I'm sorry, that's just my opinion, but like, seriously, give it up, Ryan. You probably won't win anyways. Good Lord.
If he does win, that'll rock the cart.
Oh, that's gonna piss some people off. I mean, I know I'll be mad, even though the Oscars have become a joke the last few years, but golly, that would be
Robbie
ridiculous.
is an average actor at best, I feel. Or am I sticking my neck out
She's
there?
a decent actress.
She is.
But
Is
she's
she?
not great.
She is. Do you remember that one with the ice skating? I can't remember what it was called. She played that ice skater. Anybody remember that one? She was really good. She was nominated, and she was really good in that.
Okay.
Like, do people actually like watch her movies for her acting talents, or do they watch them because they like her or they
Wolf
think
of
she's
Wall
cute?
Street?
Don't know.
Yeah,
It
just
was
saying.
called I, Tonya.
That's it. That's the one. She was good in that.
Is that an Apple film? I, Tonya.
I don't know.
Think about it. Thinking man's joke.
Oh, it's a joke, is it? Okay.
Bad one.
Bad one.
I'm here all week. Let's move
Waka
on.
waka.
Waka waka. More
Oh,
Oscars.
Johnny.
Johnny Williams. We do like Johnny Williams. Continues
We
his
do.
record for the oldest ever Oscar nominee and the most nominated person alive. I think this is for
It was for
dialect.
Indy 5 for Best Original Score, which, much as I love John Williams, that's a Lifetime Achievement Award in all but name. He does not deserve an award for that film.
No, he
The
doesn't.
soundtrack
It's a
was poor.
compilation of.
Well, the only good bits were the bits that were existing themes from the older films.
Yeah.
But the original stuff was barely even
Well,
existing.
there wasn't any original stuff. He played, especially in the beginning of that film, it was from another movie.
Yeah.
I think it was from the third movie, the theme that he played in that. So, as far as I can tell, nothing original was created for that movie. So, but there you go. I do love John Williams, though. I think he's brilliant. Absolutely.
Eraserhead. Indy 5 score was lame. Sorry.
It was.
Well, it matched the mood of the film.
Yeah.
Iceman Governson should win. I think that's Oppenheimer.
But Johnny doesn't need another award. I mean, he's got so many. You know, crazy.
Here you go. Manuel says, "Please, Mr. Williams, make another film score before you retire. Please don't let this abomination be your last work."
He's not retiring. He's in his 90s, I think.
Yeah,
He's not
he's
retiring.
90, right?
Yeah, he's not retiring. He said he wants to keep going.
Got to keep going, keep that grey material firing up. That's the way to be, folks. Okay, let's move on.
Mm-hmm.
Yay! She's back, folks. Rumor Disney moving to trim Rachel Zegler's Snow White screen time with new childhood subplots.
How do you trim Snow White's screen time in a film called Snow White?
Yeah, I'm curious as well.
Don't know.
She's the lead character, the title character. Like, I don't understand. Why even make this movie? Why is she even relevant? And how does she even look like Snow White? I mean, I know that's been addressed so many times before, but I'm like literally sick of seeing her face.
Okay, let's move on then.
Weird.
Weird. Here we go. This is it. You know it's getting...
Oh, no.
It's a Wonderful Life and Wizard of Oz to
Leave them alone.
Diverse remakes.
Oh,
Leave them alone. Leave them alone.
But this was already done in 1978.
It
I
was,
remember The
yes.
Wiz.
Oh,
The
Wiz.
Wiz.
Yeah. Michael
The
Jackson.
Wiz
Diana
is
Ross,
actually pretty fun movie.
Yes, it is.
He's on Down the Road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember that?
I loved it when I was a kid. I loved The Wiz. I thought it was very fun.
And I presume that the other one will be It's a Miserable Life.
Yeah, it's a trans life.
Yeah.
Obviously, Wonderful Life is shot there in black and white. Will the new version be shot in black?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, Brown.
It's
I mean,
Please,
all
God.
life.
That's good one for me.
But they
I'm
did
all right.
remake The Bishop's Wife, didn't they? That's a Christmas movie, and it was called can't remember what it's called. Anyway,
Watching the
it had a
Bishop.
black cast. So yeah. So they might do that with It's a Wonderful Life. You never know.
Well, for modern audiences, it'll be like It's a Shit Life or something. Won't it?
Well,
I like
didn't
that
what
title.
is it? You got
thank you,
mail.
Ronnie.
You got mail before we got You Got Mail. It was
Harry Met
that was a
Sally?
remake of
You've got mail.
that film. You Got Mail. That was a remake of a remake of a remake of a stage play or something.
Will it
like
be
that, wasn't it?
You've Got They Them Now?
Yeah, probably. Probably. You got
You've got
text.
Brown.
You've got patriarchy.
Yeah.
I again, A, I don't care, and B, I am dubious as to whether this shit gets made.
Yeah.
If they do make the Wonderful Life in black, just don't turn the lights on. Perfect. Let's move on.
He's here all week, everybody. Jeez.
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
okay,
Sorry for you guys.
I
Sorry,
want a
folks.
role reverse Gone with the Wind. I think that shit would be hilarious.
Still here with the cotton.
Yeah.
Ryan Reynolds. The suit hides the blood, also sweat. But today, with Deadpool rapping, it's mostly tears. A giant and forever thanks to the cast and crew of our film who battled wind, rain, strikes, and that's real Hugh Jackman, all under the stalwart leadership of Sean Levy. And then it says, I got to make a movie with my mates, basically.
I don't know about this one.
I'm still kind of looking forward to it. My husband's not into superhero movies, but he does love Deadpool. And so I'm looking. I don't know. Plus, it's got Wolverine in it. What the hell? Why would I not like it?
Yeah, but they're going to make a joke out of him, though, aren't they? The whole thing's a joke, right? Of course they are.
Deadpool in the comics, he breaks the fourth wall a lot, right? And he's known as the Merc with the Mouse because he's a sarcastic, goofy guy, and that's just who he is. And Ryan Reynolds portrays that perfectly. So I'm hoping and thinking that this will be at least halfway decent. It's not going to be better than the first Deadpool movie. I don't think they're going to be able to top that one. I don't think it's going to utterly suck. But Hugh Jackman is also very big on being faithful to, Wolverine and all that. So I think that you've got two actors that care about their characters.
Oh, yes.
And that might be why it's going to be good. I could be wrong. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I'm hopeful.
There you go. Sun and Storm. Wolverine has been in more bad movies than good. Ooh.
That is true. That is very true.
I mean, I don't know. I enjoyed everything that Wolverine was in. Whether the movie itself sucked or not, that's different, but his character was still enjoyable in every movie for me, except for Apocalypse, because he was in it for 2.2 seconds. So
Ryan Ray Reynolds.
I mean, there's no basis of evidence for me to establish any hope. This is Disney fully controls this now, and if we've seen anything, it's been the wretchedness that they've done.
Did not Ryan Reynolds fight to keep this R-rated as well?
Yes.
I mean, you can fight all you want, but at the end of the day, the people writing the checks are the ones that call
but they're desperate now, aren't they?
But it's going to be R-rated because he fought for that. So, I mean, I would like to think that at least it's going to be in a similar vein to the first two movies, but I could be wrong. But
how many's made so far of Deadpool? Is it 3?
This will be the third.
2. Because the second one wasn't very good.
It wasn't.
It was okay, but it wasn't good.
It wasn't the best, but it was still enjoyable.
First one was good.
The first one was, amazing. The second one was okay, but I enjoyed it nonetheless.
Yeah, here you go. Smilex 50-50. Yeah, 50-50. Yeah.
Unless it really does take the piss out of everything around it, like all the recent Marvel films.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
I'm not interested. I understood why the first Deadpool was popular. I don't particularly like that style of humor, but I understood why it was popular. But it was a remarkable, fairly unique thing when it came out. It was, irreverent. It was meta. It joked about everything. Every other Marvel film does that now. So it's kind of had most of its territory eaten up. 2 was already tired. 3, I think, can only be interesting if it takes the recent tragic failures of most modern superhero films and riffs on those. But if it doesn't do that, if it's just more vaguely irreverent, scatological humor, then I will be disappointed, but not surprised.
I think you're going to be disappointed.
Let's move on. Well, sidestep, folks.
Yeah.
Huge Jackman's message after wrapping Deadpool 3. What a ride. I loved every minute of making this movie. Well, not the training and diet, but the other 93.2%. To the best cast and crew, thank you. You are all aces. 2 of my best mates. And then he goes, Ryan Reynolds, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
Yeah. I saw this on Facebook, actually. He had a couple different pictures of him getting his Wolverine semi-beard shaved off. So I was like, oh, it's done filming.
And then somebody posted a video of them cocking about.
Mm-hmm. They looked like they were having way too much fun. You know, it was cute, though. But they looked like they were having way too much fun.
One thing I have been impressed with is the lack of plot leaks. Because so far, I know nothing about this movie, apart from all the rumoured cameos.
The photoshopped ones that Ryan Reynolds did, those were pretty great.
Yeah, but there's also been in the media a lot of different cameos rumored,
Oh,
like
that's true.
X-23 coming back, Charles Xavier, Wanda Maximoff.
Yeah.
I'm starting to side on the belief that this might be Deadpool kills the Marvel universe if they fit them all in.
Who's making lots of noises?
Not me.
I think it would be interesting if, like in the first movie, where he goes back in time and kills himself so that he's not in Green Lantern. The
He did that in the second one.
or was it the
Yes,
second
with
one? Yeah.
Cable.
Oh,
Yeah, he
is it
did
the
that in the second one. Yeah,
He
second
used
So
Cable's time travel device.
yeah, that amused me. What he should do
Loki's
is
in it,
go
apparently.
and kill Kevin Feige or something like that to stop the multiverse bullshit and just
Well, he
end
changed
it.
his mind over Hitler.
Yeah.
Okay, on 1 hour 30, let's move on then. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. Have faith. Mr. Shatner just popped in a beauty this week. I thought I'd have to do it. Karen Crawford said they had Jim Kirk on the show, but let me ask you a serious question. Whose idea was it for your character to screw every female alien? You could have told Gene no, but you didn't. Also, screaming at people at a convention makes you lose fans. And then the person who writes for Mr. Shatner said, "Sweetheart, stop using presentism to judge a 1960s show. It makes you look desperate and silly." And then he goes, "Notice how I use toxic masculinity to begin this."
I mean, Shatner is an asshole, but you gotta respect him just poning this bitch. It's amazing. Like
not him,
anybody
though.
comes at Shatner, he just
Who is
I'm
it, I
pretty sure
wonder?
It's not
he
him.
condoned it or he had the idea and said to do it. I don't know. I've told you guys several times. I've seen him in person. I've met him, and I have firsthand seen him go off on somebody, and it is amazing. But at the same time, it's like you don't fuck with the Shat. I mean, you just don't do it. So I don't know. I think it's great being what
I wonder
90,
who this
91.
is.
It's his team because like what's that show with the guy who played Lex Luthor in Smallville? He has that his podcast thing. And he was talking,
Michael Rose and
yeah, and he was talking to the guy who played Data, and Data told that story that he thought he upset him, and he called him, and Shatner went, "I don't know what you're talking about." He goes, "People write that for me." So it is true that he doesn't write it, and he doesn't say anything to them. They just do, just write what they want to write.
Brian.
It's not him.
Brian is fucking amazing. Not Brian, Shatner GTP. Very good.
I mean, you got to give him credit, if nothing else, for the people that he hired.
Top of their game. Yeah.
But Rennie's right though, because he came on a show over here that's like The View in America. It's kind of like that. And he was sitting at a table with all these women, and he was saying things like women belong in the kitchen and stuff like that. And they didn't
He
like
just don't
that
give a
at all.
shit, man.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
I do know he's like that, but I don't think he wrote this.
Z3PO, between 1966 and 1969, Kirk smooched 19 women in 79 episodes.
Yeah, that's not being that big of a whore.
Pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah, it is good.
Pretty good. No. 19. Okay, let's move on.
Oh,
I
for
saw the
fuck's
trailer for
sake.
this. I saw the trailer for it. Anyone seen the trailer?
I haven't seen the trailer, but I do like the parody poster where they make Jake Gyllenhaal look like Peter Griffin, and it's supposed to be Peter Griffin's version of Roadhouse. If you watch Family Guy, you get it. But yeah, it's pretty great. But I'm not looking forward to him seriously in this movie.
The stories, folks.
Yeah. Go on.
Oh, thank you.
No, sorry. Go on. I interrupted you. Go on.
Doug Lineman
Lyman
says he's boycotting the premiere of Shithouse film after Amazon refused to give the film a theatrical release. Amazon asked me and the film community to trust them and their public statements about supporting cinemas, and then they turn around and are blah blah blah, basically saying going against their word.
Did you? I was gonna say, did you forget the rest of the words because you keep saying blah 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 when you see the dot dots?
Well, I believe where Brownie's from, that blah 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 is actually what we use for ellipses.
The yada yada yada.
That's the
The thing is,
Yeah, I
though,
know, but I think he forgot.
Doug Lyman should appreciate the work that's thrown at him, and he shouldn't be like this, really. Even though they promised him, he understands they have control over their own product if they're paying for it. So, why is he complaining? It's not going to get him any more work if he opens his big gob again. Like the reason why he didn't direct the second Bourne film is because he was like this. So hasn't he learned?
Okay.
Would
any of the panel gone to have seen this in the theatre?
I might have done.
No.
Only the Peter Griffin version.
I might have done.
No, I too am boycotting this premiere because it looks like shit.
But don't forget, you got Conor McGregor in his first acting role for sure.
Oh yeah,
great.
Oh yeah. The original Roadhouse with Swayze is a guilty pleasure. Classic 80s. So good.
I love the fight at the ending.
Oh, so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe my response to this when I saw it was, I thought you'd be more manly.
But you know what, right? It's this trailer wasn't as bad as the Fall Guy one. The Fall Guy one is absolutely nothing.
That looked awful.
Yes. Yeah.
That is just CGI schlock.
Yeah. Quickly going back to the chat, Drew Gordon. I've heard his daughter Elizabeth runs Shatner's accounts, and if you've listened to Star Trek V director's commentary, which she's on, you'll find it believable. She's into the myth of her dad. Well, that's another one then.
I've never met William Shatner, but I did see him on stage, and he was talking on stage before his film started, and he seems like a really nice chap, as far as I can tell.
Stupenzo says, hello, my friend. Do Roadhouse in a strip club, gentleman's club, rated NC-17?
What's like a male version of Showgirls?
Will it be like Magic Mike meets Roadhouse? It's Magic Roadhouse. There you go.
It's not a very flattering picture of him, is it, really, sitting there?
No, he looks like he's got rolls instead of a six-pack.
Yeah,
it's the way that they're just kind of piling on top of each other.
Here you go, Ian. The oldest gamer, Lee Majors, is the only fall guy.
That is true. I agree.
Totally.
Yeah, this picture, I mean, it looks like it was shot on the set of Nightcrawler. I mean, he has the same look and everything else.
Yeah, it does. I actually watched him today in a film called Ambulance, directed by Michael Bay, because I was bored and I watched it. It was all right. But he's always good. He's a really good actor.
Yeah.
The only thing I really liked him in was Prisoners, Jake Gyllenhaal. I don't know. Every other role I've seen him in, he's just kind of, for me. Even in Donnie Darko, like Frank the Bunny was cool, but Gyllenhaal was just,
That was a start, though, wasn't
what was that
it?
one? Source Code. Is it Source Code?
Source Code, he was good in that.
I didn't care for that movie.
Oh, didn't you? Oh, I really
No,
liked
I'm
that
not big
movie.
on sci-fi, though.
Okay.
Okay, let's move on.
Okay.
Sky Dancer.
Merger news, everybody. Paramount, which I'm fond of, and Skydance are now discussing a potential merger.
Oh, interesting. Is that what's his name's company?
J.J. Abrams.
Yeah.
No, J.J. Abrams Bad Robot,
Bad
isn't he?
Reboot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't it Tom Cruise's company, Skydance?
Don't think so. Chat, help us out.
I don't know. Is it?
David Ellison, Redbird Capital Partners.
Skydance and Apple called it quits. Oh dear.
Oh, okay.
It was in Jarhead as well, Gyllenhaal, which was not bad.
You know what, right? What's a real shame, because like when you watch Indiana Jones and the Paramount sign comes out, they always do something with that sign, don't they? Same thing with Star Wars. You had the 20th Century Fox thing that starts before Star Wars, and it's really missing, isn't it, when you watch the Star Wars films, and the last Indiana Jones film was just absolute shit. So it's you know, it is part of the film, in my opinion. Especially when it's linked with the film.
Yeah,
I think Paramount is. I mean, they're so desperate now. They're just talking. Please, dear God, somebody buy us because we're about to drown in our own debt.
Yeah.
There's been some great films on Paramount.
Yeah, Paramount.
So many great films. It's just a shame it's going down the toilet. Didn't the
Bathroom, as the Americans would say.
Yeah, and it's just going down the bathroom, everybody. Did Paramount, didn't they distribute the first few MCU films?
Yeah. No, was it Universal? Oh, was it?
Paramount
was it Paramount?
Yeah, Iron Man and all those.
Incredible Hulk.
Yeah.
Was it Incredible Hulk? Yeah.
Well, when it was distributed before there was the Marvel Studios, where they were just having anybody do it.
All the Star Trek films as well from back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
Indiana Jones, right?
Yeah. Indiana Jones.
Never mind, folks. Let's move on. Speaking
This fucking
of
clown.
Paramount, this is just around the corner, folks. Halo Season 2. Halo series star Master Chief says Master Chief's sex scene was a huge mistake.
I think the whole show was a huge mistake, wasn't it?
One of many huge mistakes. Taking off the helmet, major mistake.
Which he insisted on because he said you couldn't identify with him unless you saw the face of the actor. Now, never mind that the helmet had more expression than he did.
Are you still going with that crap? It started with the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, where you had to keep taking his bloody mask off all the time because the actor, you needed to see his face. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, we saw his ass cheeks. That's why we started calling him Master Cheeks.
Hugo Weaving in V for Vendetta. Brilliant.
Yes.
Oh, he did amazing. And guess what? You didn't see his face.
Carl Urban in Dread.
Dread.
Absolutely.
That's what we need. Dread 2.
We don't need to see their faces. If they're really good actors, they'll be able to perform, and you'll get the nuance of what
body
they're trying to
language
do.
right.
That's right. Yeah.
Season 2, I think it's February 8th, folks. So just around the corner.
Oh God, is it? It's a February release.
Yeah, I think.
Fuck! I might have to cover it. Oh no!
It's
cover it with a pillow until it stops moving.
I think it's a week. I think it's a week on Wednesday. Sure it is.
Week on Wednesday.
A week on Wednesday, folks. And yes, we do deserve Dread 2.
Yes.
Carl Urban, once you finish The Boys, for fuck's sake, get some money off Jeff to do Dread 2, please.
He's open. He doesn't talk the way he talks like when he's Butcher.
Right. Okay. Let's move on. It was a mistake. Okay, kind of connected to Microsoft has laid off 1,900 Activision Blizzard. Blizzard.
I was going to say
Blizzard,
what?
And Xbox employees. Is it Blizzards?
Blizzard.
Blizzard.
As in the weather phenomenon, not
yes.
a really
I think Blizzard is how they say it in Jamaica. That's what's
yeah, man.
Yeah.
Blizzard, man. Yeah.
Weak.
I read around things.
Weak.
Rascal and ting.
Indigo and Blizzard, man.
And this is how Brown gets cancelled.
That sounds awful.
How can I be cancelled when I'm already cancelled? Was this a big merger last year?
Oh, was it?
Yeah, it took them a long time to get it through because the regulators in this country in particular were not happy that they were merging because the UK wants to be relevant and isn't. So they managed to get through it anyway. But and obviously Microsoft made certain promises, and it never looks particularly good when you take on this massive new subsidiary company and then axe a huge part of that company, including most of the creative leads. But that's what Microsoft has decided is the wise thing to do. We'll see whether they were right, I guess.
Here you go, folks. Professor Atu, Microsoft consolidates a bunch of studios, makes almost no hits, then has to cut jobs. It writes itself.
I mean, it's the cool thing to do. Apparently, Disney certainly pioneered that, and why shouldn't everybody else copy them? I do have some. I mean, so you're necessarily going to have redundancies when you take on a division the size of Activision Blizzard, and so you're going to reduce that. But the other thing is, I don't know that Activision Blizzard has much of a leg to stand on as far as talking about their brilliant design and product of recent effort. So maybe they should have been axed.
I think, the basic mentality, I think, is that Microsoft wanted all of the properties, but not all of the people who ruined all of the properties.
Right, yes, not the defilers that came with it.
Let's move on. Anybody see this? Bob the Builder, animated movie in the works starring Anthony Ramos. The film follows Roberto, a.k.a. Bob, who travels to Puerto Rico for a major construction job and digs deeper into what it means to build.
I bet he spends all his time sleeping and then tries to unionize.
That's not right.
And they're really going to be missing a trick if he doesn't start his journey at a Home Depot.
Yes, he has to be at Home Depot parking lot. Yeah.
Randy Marsh from South Park picks him up.
Will it have Bob the Builder, can we fix it, and all that bollocks?
Yes, but with a Latinx beat.
Are you allowed to say that?
He just did.
I just did.
I was going to say it doesn't really matter because it's already done.
This is that famous singer producing this. What's her name? J-Lo. Is it J-Lo?
Yes.
Why?
I'm talking about Jennifer Lopez.
Yes.
Yeah. Lopez.
I have never really worried about the inner motivations of Bob and why he is building, but I guess somebody has, so they're going to make a movie about it.
Will it have Z? Correct me if I'm wrong. Neil Morrissey singing the theme tune.
Yes, and this is clearly revenge for the Mambo No. 5 single that he released.
The ultimate irony is if Bob gets contracted to build the wall.
Yeah, you saw that.
Oh my gosh.
Comment of the night goes from, I think the Lord nicked this. I've been burgled, which is never nice. Bob the Builder going down south.
Oh, shit. I think I got in before the chat. I hope.
No, literally, I think he was in there just a nanosecond before.
Oh, damn it.
Still very good, though.
You couldn't have read it that quickly and said it that quickly, so.
Oh, I've
Come
got
on,
my eyes
Cindy.
closed. I have no idea what's going on.
Let's get that razor wire up.
Hold on, is he doing the voiceover then for this character? Sorry, I was in the bog. Now I'm back. What's going on?
Bob the Builder is
Builter.
now Bob the
building-
Builder
he's
is
building
now
things.
Latino or Hispanic.
Oh, I see.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now Bob the Beaner.
That's crazy, right?
If this would have been the Mexican Wall, it could have been produced by Donald J. Trump. Moving on. Killed it. Sorry, folks.
Stream killer.
I killed it, folks. Let's move on. Killed
Who
it.
did the voice for him originally?
Neil
Bob the
Morrissey.
Builder? Neil Morrissey, yes, of course. Oh
Okay.
no!
Oh, fuck off.
No, they shouldn't.
Sony wants to bring back Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield in Spider-Man 4.
No, this is a one-off. They should just
Let
leave
it
at
lie.
that. Yeah. I mean, the story was absolute bollocks. None of it made any sense, but it was so enjoyable. And I saw it in the cinema 3 times, and that's how enjoyable I thought it was. So, but they should just stop it here.
One
They
for
really
each Spider-Man. Killed it again, folks.
So
Brown
again,
Fuck.
this is an example of
Shit.
why studios are such shit, right? They have no understanding of why things work. It worked last time, so just more of that, right? We just need more, and they will immediately exhaust any goodwill with this. It'll flop, and then they'll have no idea what the hell went wrong, and pick a new stupid thing to do.
Well, if you believe the story, it's Marvel and Kevin Feige who want to do a smaller, grounded story with Spider-Man, and it's Sony who want to do this Redux multiverse thing.
Oh my God,
Which is ridiculous because that's normally the other way
weird.
around.
yes.
Yeah.
But they don't know any better, though. The people that are running Sony, they don't know any better. They're all suits anyway. And they did.
Yeah. Well,
There's
Sony's
no
probably
artistic
thinking,
thing
oh,
running through it.
fuck, we've just spent millions on Madden Web and no one's going to see it. How do we get that cash back?
How can we recover it?
We
Yeah.
also have a Venom movie coming out. Oh, no.
That's right.
Oh, God, we do. Shit, yeah.
Well, the last two was really successful. I mean, that kind of makes sense. If both
Yeah,
of them
God
were
knows how,
successful,
but they
yeah.
were.
Yeah, exactly, because they were terrible. But yeah, that kind of makes sense. But making another one of this doesn't make any. They're just so out of touch. These people that are actually responsible for putting movies out, they really are. Anyway,
Well, it's
Craven out as
everybody
well.
hopping on to whatever the hotness is. Oh, it's cinematic universe or the thing, right? Sony comes out with the Spider cinematic universe, and that ends up being a shit show, except for the actual Spider-Man movies. DC just makes a shit show of all of it, and Marvel is busy burning down its, the MCU, but everybody's kind of on a different point in the curve of failure. And so they're just all gonna, they're all driving to the same destination. They're just on a different mile marker.
yeah.
Okay, let's move on.
Yes.
Anybody see this? Tom Hollander, I think he's a British actor, says he accidentally got sent Tom Holland's box office bonus for the Avengers movie. It was an astonishing amount of money, not the whole box office bonus, the first one. Sorry, I'll start again. Not the whole box office bonus. The first one. I'm fucking this up. And it was more money than I'd ever seen.
Oh, that
How
sucks.
could they make a mistake like that, though? I don't understand.
I guess, when you log into your online banking app and you've got two people with the really similar name and you accidentally click one and transfer them $40 billion, it's an easy mistake to make.
Yes.
I don't know how much it was, but it was a lot.
It was more money than he's ever seen. He's probably like, this kid's making more money than I've ever seen. Life sucks.
I quite like Tom Hollander. I think he should be in the MCU and getting paid for it because he's a fairly good actor. But
yeah,
I'm wondering why he said anything about it.
yeah, just
yeah.
don't say
Well,
it.
To
well,
get
they would have
some,
found out. They would have found
get some
out.
Withdraw it all
notoriety.
before they do and leave the country.
Yeah, but it was sent. Even if it was sent by a mistake, it's still a legal transaction, though, isn't it? So he could have said, "No, you're not having it."
Well,
No,
but if the
no,
wrong
Or is that
name
me
is on
being-
it, then it's not
no.
technically his.
Yeah,
so that
exactly.
you
Well,
It's
there
like
is
if-
that. Sorry.
But
like,
I
haven't
tend,
you? Sorry, Ian.
I said I tend to not believe this story. I don't know. I don't believe it because I don't think a major studio would make that kind of mistake.
It's the internet.
Yeah, I would make that kind of mistake on my phone, of course, if two names were similar. But I'm sorry, this doesn't sound real to me. It really doesn't. What
I
do
mean,
you
you
guys
could be
think?
right.
The
but,
only
I mean,
way
Well, I
the only
went
way
to-
that I see this working is that they have the same agent and the
Well,
payments
yeah.
go to the
Possibly.
agent, and then there's a mistake because it's name and that's it, right? Care of CAA or whatever, right?
Oh.
And then it gets forwarded to him, and he opens it and he's like, "But Jesus Christ!" and then realizes, oh no, they screwed that up, and then has to contact him.
I will say I went to the BBC website and it's genuine.
But
yeah,
anyway,
again, it's just the mechanics of how this happens.
Exactly,
is
yeah.
the big thing.
And also, right, this guy, he's a decent actor, and I've seen him in a couple of stuff and
Profile.
everything. Why would he admit it? Why would he actually? I mean, report it? Do you know what I mean? It just doesn't make any sense to me. Why
should
would he
just-
even tell someone?
He should have moved to the Cayman Islands. Nobody ever known. Here you go. Always came out. It doesn't. BBC doesn't lie. It doesn't. Okay.
Which one of us want to tell Brownie about the Easter Bunny?
Santa.
What?
Yeah, and Santa Claus.
We'll leave it to the
What?
Tooth Fairy.
Yeah. Let the Tooth Fairy handle it.
What? Let's move on.
Moving
Oh wait,
on.
Brown wears dentures.
finally-
don't you? You don't even have teeth.
Family.
Oh, he was able to buy some after Drinker's Stream.
Oh, there you go.
I've forgotten what the last slide is. There's no in the
Lords.
bin this week, folks.
Let's-
Nothing leapt out. Sorry, folks.
Take us in dry,
Is it
Brown.
Dune?
Boone.
There was a few June tidbits, but I didn't.
Mm-hmm. I'm surprised you didn't have anything on here.
I hope we get the I hope we get the popcorn.
Well,
the
they're doing
popcorn
popcorn
tub
buckets
over
that look
here.
like fleshlights.
I do not have any interest in that one.
Well, you don't have the right appendage for it, do you?
No,
That's
and
correct.
They're in greater demand than those Stanley cups that middle-aged cat ladies are after.
I don't understand the obsession with those, man. It was so stupid. I'm like, I don't want to pay that much for a Stanley Cup. Yetis are better, and I hate the color pink anyways. So there you go. Sorry, moving on.
Moving on. Okay. I've genuinely forgot what the last thing is. For the Brits.
The Far Show.
That is
Yes.
that is
Why are we having? Why is
diverse for
Brown
your
reenacting
American
the Planet of the
audience.
Apes?
No, it's a character in the Far Show that makes that noise. It's not
suits you, sir.
Yeah, Far Show stars reuniting for the 30th anniversary tour. Oh, they're going on tour, 14 nights. Oh.
See, here you go. This is for the Brits, everybody. I even look. There's a show in York, 45 quid. I'm very, very tempted.
Is it going to be any good though? That's the question. Because like this humor's very old. So
well, it's very problematic. Yeah, that's why. It's
exactly.
Funny.
Yeah.
Suits you,
so
sir.
we'll see, right? We'll see.
Brown, do you need some private time?
Yeah.
Do you know the Far Show used to have a Christmas? They had a Christmas special once, and Johnny Depp was in one of the sketches. That's how. And I think Johnny Depp was a fan, right?
Massive fan.
Yeah, he was a fan of the Far Show.
He says Paul Whitehouse is one of the best actors.
He is. He is. He's a very good actor.
Here you go. Fat Lobber. Caroline Aherne will be there.
In spirit, I assume.
In spirit, yes. Lord, were you a fan of Fast Show?
Sort of. Well, my mum really was, so we sort of grew up with all of the references. I don't know that I ever sat down and watched any extended amount of it, but I remember loads of the sketches, so I guess that counts. Yeah.
Scotcho.
Yeah.
Z, you're a fan, aren't you?
Put your knickers on and make us a cup of tea.
What was it called?
Monkfish of the Yard.
Monkfish, that was it. Monkfish.
Monkfish was trending as well.
Absolutely
this week because of
hilarious.
it. Yeah. Monkfish was
the
trending.
Detective. Right. Get your knickers on. Make me a cup of tea, love.
Scali.
Chris Waddle, Franco Walker. I've got the box set. I have as well. The complete Fast Show. I mean,
basically, right,
Amazon.
for the Americans, the Far Show was sketches, but they had sayings in the sketches. So every week they'll do a sketch and they'll have a saying. But you just laugh because
brilliant.
It's like it's ultimate catchphrase humor. And the whole point of it, and the reason it's called the Far Show, is what they wanted to do was pack as many of them into as short a space of time as possible.
Yeah.
So lots of sketch shows will quite often drag an individual sketch out over a period of minutes. The Far Show, sometimes they'll just pop up on screen for 2 seconds, say a line and go. And from what I remember, it was pretty well done.
Cheesy peas.
Yeah, the guy that comes out the shed and says,
"Today
I've been
mostly eating."
Mostly eating. Yeah.
Side effects. Brown is real life unlucky Alf.
Bugger.
Bugger.
Yeah. And what about the drunk fella? Who's the drunk guy that says
he's my favorite by far. Yeah.
The little platoon. My reputation.
Yeah,
that was
brilliant.
very.
They had some sketches that didn't work. Like there was one where they used to have this long fight or something. Two people used to be fighting. Don't know if you remember that sketch in the Far Show.
And that's what they did. Were fighting. And that was it.
Yeah, it was just fighting. Yeah, that one didn't work for me, but the majority of them did. What about the Ted one? The Ted one was really good.
Ted and Ralph.
Yeah,
brilliant.
Ted and Ralph, really good.
Brilliant. Yeah. Very tempted, folks. Very tempted. Tickets are about 45 quid if you're in Blighty. Yeah. Okay. I think that's it, folks. Episode 186 Musings, Sunday, blah, 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 all that stuff. We've done very, very well for time tonight. Chat, you are wonderful. Great interaction as usual. Thank you for the super chats. Mightily, mightily generous peeps. We will see you next time. I will thank the guests. Little platoon. Cheers, Lord.
Thank you as ever.
Emperor Goodwin. Cheers,
Always a pleasure.
Z3PO. Cheers, A.
Saying goodbye on the stream is very much like making love to a beautiful woman.
Rennie L. Cheers, Rennie.
Yeah, thanks to the fellow panel members. Nice to chat with you guys. Glad you could make it today, Platoon. We missed you bunches.
Yes,
and chat, you guys are awesome. So yeah, have a great rest of your night.
And last but by no means least, he is the wise elder of the channel, paid up member of the Selfridges Appreciation Society. It is the great mega geek himself, Ian David Diaz.
Thank you as ever.
I think that's it. Lord,
Ta-ta.
when's is Beast back yet? Do we know?
I don't remember. No, I don't
Okay.
know. It's either this week or next week, one of the two. But within the next fortnight, it's back.
You're streaming with Gothic
Therapy.
next.
Yes, I'm heading off there in about 10 minutes, so I should.
Don't you sleep,
the
Ben?
phone speed.
Don't you sleep?
Well, this
No.
is
You have
tea time
another
for him.
super chat.
Tom has some thoughts coming in at the death for $5. Brown, buy yourself a ticket to do that thing you like. Where are the memberships? I keep saying this every time. I need to figure out what the perks are.
You just
How
turn them
long does
on.
it?
That's literally
Yeah.
all you do. You can
really?
add stuff to them if you want to, but
Could I
otherwise you just
charge-
turn them on.
Could I charge $1,000 for a basic
Well,
membership though?
Yeah, no
if
one
that
will
was
join.
the case,
but you
nobody
could.
would join. But yeah, are you saying you're trying to figure out what the perks are for your members, like what you're going
I'd
to
need
do for
some
them?
emojis as well, but
Yeah.
I'm going to do it. Just be patient, folks. Just be patient. I'm going to do it. I think that is it. Considering we have 40 slides, 2 hours, that's a mega result. So I think that is it, folks. We're back Wednesday. Don't know what we're doing, but we're back Wednesday. If we don't see you Wednesday, have a great week. That's all I can say. Have a great week, everybody. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Ta-da.
Bye.